The water looked perfect, crystal clear, fast-moving over smooth rocks, cold enough to make your teeth ache. Everything the survival manuals said meant safe. Everything the instructors taught meant drinkable. So he drank it. Deep, grateful gulps straight from the stream. 3 days later, he couldn't stand without collapsing. 5 days later, he couldn't keep anything down. 7 days later, his camp was empty. Just a soaked sleeping bag, scattered gear, and boot prints leading into the forest that ended at nothing. The water didn't kill him, his training did. See, here's what nobody tells you about survival. The real threat isn't what you don't know. Any idiot knows they don't know. The real threat is what you know for certain that's completely, catastrophically wrong. It's the confident mistake. The decision you'll make without hesitation, without doubt, because someone credible taught it to you. Because it's in the manual. Because everyone knows it's true. And here's the part that should genuinely terrify you. You're carrying at least 5 of these right now, installed in your brain like landmines, survival wisdom that's actually a countdown timer, waiting for the exact moment of crisis to detonate and take you with it. I know because I used to carry them too. We all did. The difference is some of us got lucky enough to learn the truth before it mattered, before the mistake became permanent. Today, I'm going to disarm them, all 5. Starting with the one that's probably sitting in your bug-out bag right now, actively broadcasting your location to every desperate, dangerous person within 5 miles. Consider this your system diagnostic. Let's see what bad code is running in your head. The framework. These myths survived for a reason. They sounded right. They had just enough truth mixed in to be believable. They were repeated by people who should have known better. In the old world, when rescue was a phone call away, that was fine. Wrong information meant a bad camping trip, maybe some discomfort, definitely a funny story to tell later at the bar. Now, wrong information means you don't get a later. I'm breaking down 5 myths today. Not the obvious ones that everybody knows are stupid. Not the drink your own urine nonsense that nobody actually believed anyway. I'm talking about the sophisticated ones. The ones that sound smart. The ones that experienced preppers and serious survivalists believe because they came from credible sources. For each myth, you get 3 things. The bad intel, the conventional wisdom everyone repeats without questioning, the kill mechanism, the exact biological, physical, or tactical reason this advice will get you killed, and the actual protocol, what really works when there's no rescue coming and no second chance. No theoretical discussion, no philosophical debate, just the hard, brutal math of staying alive when the margin for error is 0. First myth. And this one's probably killed more people throughout history than most predators ever did.
If animals eat it, so can you. The logic seems completely bulletproof. You're hungry, you haven't eaten in 2 days, you spot a squirrel eating bright red berries from a bush. You watch for 5 minutes, the squirrel eats a dozen berries, the squirrel looks fine, healthy, energetic even. Those berries must be food, right? Nature's taste tester just gave you the all clear. Time to eat. Here's what actually happens. That squirrel has metabolic enzymes you don't possess. Its liver processes alkaloids and glycosides that your human liver treats as a 5-alarm crisis. Its digestive system handles compounds that will cause your kidneys to shut down. What's nutrition for that squirrel is organ failure for you. Different species, different biochemistry, wildly different outcomes. Real examples, pokeweed berries. Birds absolutely feast on them. Robins, cedar waxwings, they love these things. You eat a handful? Severe gastrointestinal poisoning, respiratory shutdown, convulsions, potential death. Bittersweet nightshade? Deer browse on it regularly. Humans? Cardiac arrhythmia and arrest. Buckthorn berries? Watched a raccoon eat them once. Looked fine. Human consumption causes violent purging from both ends. Severe dehydration, electrolyte imbalance. But here's the part that makes this truly brutal. Plant poisoning isn't fast. You don't eat the berries and drop dead. Your organs fail over the course of days. You'll be conscious for most of it, aware, in increasing pain as your liver or kidneys systematically shut down. You'll be completely incapacitated, unable to travel, unable to defend yourself, unable to do anything except lie there and experience every minute of your body's betrayal. And you'll be vulnerable the entire time, to the elements, to dehydration, to anything else that might find you. And all of this for what? A handful of calories your body didn't actually need? Because here's the thing they don't emphasize enough in survival training. Your body is already carrying 3 weeks of backup fuel. It's called adipose tissue, fat. It's evolutionary insurance against famine. Your body is designed to go without food for extended periods. Our ancestors did it regularly. But your body absolutely cannot survive hours or days with a hepatotoxin actively destroying your liver tissue or a nephrotoxin shutting down your kidneys. The risk-reward calculation is insane. You're gambling your life for maybe 200 calories that your body doesn't need yet. So here's the actual protocol, and it's simultaneously the simplest and hardest rule you'll ever learn. If you cannot identify the plant with absolute 100% certainty, it is poison. Period. Full stop. End of discussion. Not, I'm pretty sure that's safe. Not, it looks a lot like the pictures in my field guide. Not, it smells okay, or it tastes fine, or I saw an animal eat it. Absolute certainty based on multiple identifying characteristics and personal knowledge, or it does not go anywhere near your mouth. Your survival priorities are water first, shelter second, warmth third. Food is a distant fourth, way down the list. You have weeks before starvation becomes a third. You have days before dehydration kills you. You have hours before hypothermia shuts you down. Don't risk your life gambling on amateur botany when your body's already carrying the fuel you need. But here's the thing about plant poisoning. It's slow. Agonizing, yes. Deadly, absolutely. But slow. The next myth kills you in hours instead of days. And the truly evil part? It feels like you're saving yourself the entire time. Your body will thank you right up until it doesn't.
The hypothermia speed run. You're cold, not uncomfortable cold, dangerously cold. Your core temperature has dropped below 95 degrees. Shivering has stopped, which is a bad sign because it means you're past stage 2 hypothermia and your body's giving up on generating heat. Your thinking is sluggish, your fingers won't work properly. Someone hands you a flask. Whiskey, brandy, drink this, they say. It'll warm you up, get your blood flowing. This advice has been repeated for generations. It's in movies, books, cultural consciousness, the image of the Saint Bernard with a barrel of brandy around its neck rescuing lost mountain climbers. This is how you die feeling grateful. Here's the actual mechanism, the biology of why this kills you. Alcohol is a vasodilator. It forces your blood vessels to expand, to open up. Now, your body's already in emergency mode. When your core temperature drops, your cardiovascular system makes a tactical decision. It constricts the blood vessels in your extremities and pulls all your warm blood tight to your core, protecting your vital organs. Heart, lungs, brain, the essentials. Your fingers and toes go numb because your body's made a brutal calculation. Fingers are expendable, your heart is not. This is called peripheral vasoconstriction, and it's keeping you alive. Now you drink the alcohol, those constricted blood vessels forcibly dilate. Warm blood rushes from your core out to your skin's surface. That spreading warmth you feel radiating through your chest and limbs, that's not heat being generated, that's your core temperature dropping. You're dumping your precious remaining heat through your skin into the freezing air. You're hemorrhaging thermal energy. The warm feeling is literally the sensation of dying faster. Your body is thanking you for killing it. But it gets worse. As your core temperature continues to drop, now accelerated by the alcohol, your heart rhythm starts to destabilize. Cardiac arrhythmia is developed. Your brain function deteriorates further. You start making catastrophically bad decisions. You might start removing your clothes because you suddenly feel hot. It's called paradoxical undressing, and it's one of the final stages before death. Rescue workers find bodies in the snow naked because the dying person's brain was so confused they stripped in sub-zero temperatures. And all of this because you drank something that felt warm going down? Actual protocol for hypothermia. First principle, heat the core, not the surface. You need to put heat in, not let more heat out. Step 1, get out of the wind. Wind is a heat thief. Even a 5-mile-per-hour breeze dramatically increases heat loss through convection. Every gust strips warmth off your skin. Find or create a windbreak immediately. A rock outcropping, a dense stand of trees, even just getting down into a ditch. Cut the wind first. Step 2, get out of wet clothes. This is non-negotiable. Water conducts heat away from your body 25 times faster than air. Wet fabric is worse than no fabric. Wet clothes are actively killing you. Strip them off even if it means being naked. Wet cotton kills, wet denim kills, even wet wool, which is better than cotton, is still pulling heat from you. Get dry any way you can. If dry means wrapping yourself in a tarp or a trash bag, do it. Dry beats dignified every single time. Step 3, external heat source. If you can make fire, get near it. If you have another person, this is where skin-to-skin contact in an emergency blanket or a sleeping bag becomes critical. You're doing a direct heat transfer from their body to yours. This isn't about comfort or awkwardness, this is a medical procedure. You're receiving a heat transfusion. Step 4, and this is the real protocol, hot liquids with sugar. Hot tea, hot water with sugar or honey stirred in, hot broth, hot jello if that's what you've got, even hot water by itself. This gives you two critical things: external heat going directly into your stomach and core, warming you from the inside, and simple carbohydrates that your body can immediately metabolize to generate its own heat. Your body is a furnace. It can create heat, but it needs fuel. Sugar is fast fuel. No alcohol. None. No coffee or tea with caffeine either. Both are diuretics, making you urinate more and lose fluids. Both are vasodilators, making the core heat loss worse. They feel helpful, they're actually making everything worse. Warm your core, keep the heat in, give your body fuel to make its own heat. That's the protocol. Everything else is theater that kills you. You're warm now, you're dry, crisis averted, but the next threat is already inside you and multiplying in your gut. And the truly insidious part, it looked completely, perfectly harmless going in. You made a decision that seemed not just safe, but smart. And that's what makes this myth so deadly.
The clear water trap. You're at a stream. Fast-moving water bubbling over smooth stones, crystal clear. You can see individual pebbles on the bottom. Sunlight catches the spray. It looks like a commercial for mountain spring water. Every survival book you've read says moving water is safer than still water. Every outdoor instructor emphasized that fast-moving streams are lower risk. The water's cold, fresh, beautiful. So you drink. You fill your bottle directly from the stream and drink deep. Here's what you can't see with your naked eye. Giardia cysts, each one microscopically small, each one a package of parasites waiting to colonize your intestines. Cryptosporidium oocysts, even smaller, even harder to kill. E. coli bacteria, Campylobacter, potentially viruses, all of them microscopic, all of them present, all of them flowing downstream from the rotting elk carcass 2 miles upstream, or from the beaver dam a mile up, or from the old mining operation that's leaching heavy metals, or from the camper who buried their waste 50 feet from the water last week. Clear doesn't mean clean. It just means transparent. Moving water isn't self-purifying. It's a high-speed transportation system for pathogens. The current doesn't kill anything, it just moves the contamination faster and farther. Here's the kill mechanism, and it's more complex than just you get sick. Severe diarrhea from waterborne illness in survival situations doesn't just make you uncomfortable. It's not just a bad day. It dehydrates you faster than you can replace fluids, especially if you're also vomiting. Your body loses water and electrolytes at an accelerated rate. You become weak. Your muscles don't work properly. Your brain gets foggy. You become disoriented. You can't travel effectively. You can't defend yourself. You can't make good decisions. You can't even maintain your core temperature properly because dehydration impairs thermoregulation. And in that weakened, compromised state, literally anything else kills you. The cold you could have handled yesterday now gives you hypothermia. The hunger you could have pushed through now becomes debilitating. The bad decision you would have caught now goes unnoticed. Or just someone walking up to your camp while you're too sick to notice until it's too late. Waterborne illness in survival situations is a force multiplier for every other threat. It doesn't kill you directly, it opens the door for everything else. The protocol. All water is hostile until proven otherwise. Every single drop, no exceptions. It looks clean is not a survival strategy, it's the beginning of a cautionary tale. Method 1, and the gold standard, boiling. A rolling boil for 1 full minute kills everything. Giardia cysts, cryptoosis, bacteria, viruses, all dead. No survivors. This is low-tech, foolproof, and works with the most basic equipment: a metal can, a fire, and water. That's the entire equipment list. At elevations above 6,000 feet, boil for 3 minutes because water boils at a lower temperature. No fire?
Then you need a high-quality water filter rated specifically for bacteria and protozoa. Not just a carbon filter that makes water taste better, you need actual filtration down to 0.2 microns minimum, or chemical purification tablets, iodine or chlorine dioxide. Follow the directions exactly, wait the full time specified, don't skip steps because you're thirsty. Thirst won't kill you in the next 30 minutes. Waterborne illness will kill you over the next week. No filter, no tablets, then making fire to boil water just became your absolute top priority. Not shelter, not food, not signaling. Fire for water purification. Everything else waits. Because here's the brutal reality. Thirst is genuinely agonizing. I'm not minimizing that. Going without water is one of the hardest things to endure. But severe dysentery is worse. Dying over a week while your body evacuates every ounce of fluid is worse. The agony of thirst is temporary if you can find water. The agony of waterborne illness is extended and often fatal. Choose your suffering carefully. You've avoided the poison berries, you didn't drink yourself into hypothermia, you're treating your water, you're making good decisions. But the next myth doesn't care about your good decisions. It cares about your panic. And panic looks like productivity. Panic looks like taking action, and that's exactly why it's so insidious. The next myth burns the one resource you absolutely cannot replace.
The calorie bankruptcy protocol. You're lost or stranded or separated from your group. Whatever the specific circumstances, you're alone and it's getting dark. Maybe weather's rolling in, the temperature's dropping. Every survival instinct you have is screaming at you. Build shelter, substantial shelter, proper shelter. Show the universe you're serious about surviving this. So you do. You find a good spot. You start cutting branches, small trees. You're hauling logs, you're weaving walls, you're building a frame, you're making a roof, you're adding insulation. You work for 3 hours, maybe 4. You're sweating despite the cold, you're exhausted, your hands are cut up, but you're done. You step back and look at your shelter. It's good, it's solid, you're proud of what you built. Here's what you actually just did. You burned somewhere between 1,200 and 1,500 calories building a structure you might not need in a location you might not stay in using energy you cannot replace. Let me explain the math that kills you. Your body has a daily calorie budget. When you wake up, you have a certain amount of stored energy, glycogen in your muscles and liver, fat and adipose tissue. Every single action costs calories. Breathing costs calories. Your heartbeat costs calories. Thinking costs calories. Walking costs calories. Cutting branches and hauling logs, that costs a lot of calories. Heavy physical labor in cold weather burns energy at an accelerated rate. And when your calorie account hits 0, your body doesn't just shut off. It starts consuming itself. Muscle tissue breaks down for fuel through a process called gluconeogenesis. Your immune system weakens, cognitive function drops, your body temperature regulation becomes impaired, you become increasingly vulnerable to every other threat. And if you spent 4 hours and 1,500 calories building an elaborate shelter in a spot you're going to leave tomorrow morning when you get your bearings, or in a location that wasn't even particularly dangerous, you just wasted the most valuable, most irreplaceable resource you had, your own energy. Because here's what they don't tell you in survival courses. In a real long-term survival scenario, your energy budget is your life. You probably don't have enough food. Your next meal isn't guaranteed. Every calorie you burn needs to be a calculated investment with a clear return. Busy work feels productive. It feels like survival. It's actually slow-motion starvation with extra steps. The actual protocol? Stop. This is an acronym, but it's also a literal command. Stop moving. Physically stop. Cease all movement. Sit down. Panic is motion without purpose. Panic is your brain frantically trying anything that feels like action. Don't let panic drive you. You need to shift from reactive to analytical. Think. What are the actual threats right now? Not hypothetical threats, not tomorrow's threats. What's going to hurt you in the next 6 to 12 hours? Is it getting dark? Yes. Is it raining? Is the temperature dropping below freezing? Is there wind? What does your body actually need to survive the immediate future? Observe what resources are already here. This is critical. Before you build anything, look around. Is there a rock overhang that blocks wind and sheds rain? Is there a dense cluster of evergreen trees with low branches that create a natural shelter underneath? Is there a fallen log you could use as a windbreak? Nature has already done 90% of the work. Most people ignore this and build from scratch. Plan. What's the absolute minimum viable shelter? Not the Instagram-worthy bushcraft showcase, not the structure that proves you know what you're doing. The absolute minimum that keeps you dry, blocks the wind, and helps retain your body heat. Your first job is always to conserve calories. Don't build, find.
Improve on what's already there. Lean a few branches against a fallen log to create a windbreak. Pile up pine needles or dry leaves for insulation. Use your emergency blanket or tarp with natural features. Spend maybe 10% of your energy to get 80% of the protection you need. Stay smart, not busy. Busy work makes you feel like you're surviving while it quietly kills you. You avoided the berries. You didn't drink yourself into hypothermia. You're treating your water. You're conserving energy. You're making good decisions based on knowledge instead of panic. But all of that means nothing if you make the next mistake, because this one's different. This isn't about your body's biology or the environment's physics. This is about psychology and human nature, and it's the one that will paint a giant flashing target on your back. And the worst part, you paid good money to do it to yourself.
The expensive target problem. Here's what the survival industry sold you, and they sold it hard. Survival equals gear. Your odds of staying alive are directly proportional to the quality and quantity of your equipment. You need solar panels for power, tactical backpacks with MOLLE webbing, advanced water filtration systems, military-grade everything, high-tech gadgets, the latest innovations, the best materials. Spend enough money and you'll be prepared for anything. So you did. You bought an all. Thousands of dollars invested. Your bug-out bag weighs 50 pounds and contains solutions for every conceivable problem. You're prepared. You're ready. You're equipped to handle whatever comes. Here's the reality check that's going to hurt. That solar panel you set up doesn't make you powerful or self-sufficient. It makes you visible. It announces to everyone within visual range that you have electricity. And if you have electricity, you have other supplies. Batteries, tools, probably food. Definitely gear worth taking. You're not advertising your preparedness, you're advertising your vulnerability. That advanced tactical backpack with the MOLLE webbing and hydration system and tactical patches, it doesn't make you look capable. It tells every desperate person who sees you that you invested serious money in equipment, which means you're carrying serious value. You're not projecting competence, you're projecting loot. That $500 water filtration system with the ceramic elements and the multi-stage purification, it's fragile. The ceramic cracks if dropped. The O-rings degrade, the filter clogs on sediment, the parts wear out. And when it fails at the exact moment you need it most and you don't know how to boil water in a tin can or construct a basic sand and charcoal filter, your sophisticated technology just became $500 of useless plastic. Your gear didn't save you, your lack of knowledge killed you. But here's the deeper, more insidious problem with high-tech gear. It creates false confidence. It makes you think you're prepared when you're actually dependent. You're not prepared, you're equipped. There's a massive difference. You're dependent on batteries that will die. You're dependent on replacement parts that don't exist anymore. You're dependent on technology that will eventually fail, break, run out, or get lost. And when it does, you don't have the underlying knowledge to improvise a solution. The gear became a crutch. And now the crutch is broken and you can't walk. And here's the darkest truth about expensive gear in a collapse scenario. In a world where resources are scarce and violence is common and law enforcement doesn't exist, looking well-equipped is an active liability. It's a threat marker. Every person who sees your gear runs an instant calculation. The value of what he's carrying versus the risk of taking it from him. And if you look loaded down with expensive equipment, but you're alone, or you seem inexperienced, or you're not maintaining proper security, that calculation tips toward worth the risk. You're not a survivor. You're a walking supply depot, a loot drop, a target. The actual protocol, and this is going to sound completely counterintuitive to everything the industry taught you, become the gray man. Don't be the best equipped person in the wasteland. Be the most overlooked, the most underestimated. The survivor who looks weak, unprepared, maybe even pathetic, but has the strongest skills and the sharpest mind. Don't rely on fragile technology. Rely on robust, renewable knowledge. Know 5 different ways to start fire. Bow drill using sticks and cordage. Magnifying glass focusing sunlight. Flint and steel. Battery and steel wool. Chemical reaction with potassium permanganate and glycerin.
Understanding principles means you have redundancy. When one method fails because you lost your lighter, or your magnesium rod broke, or it's raining, you have 4 other options. Fire isn't about having the best fire starting tool, it's about understanding combustion and having multiple pathways to achieve it. Know multiple water purification methods and understand the science. Boiling kills through heat, solar disinfection uses UV radiation, sand and charcoal filtration removes particles and some pathogens, chemical treatment with iodine or chlorine. Understanding principles means you can improvise solutions with whatever materials you find. A plastic bottle becomes a solar still, a t-shirt becomes a pre-filter, a tin can becomes a cooking pot and water boiler, duct tape and plastic become a shelter. Knowledge of principles beats specialized tools every single time. Your greatest asset isn't the 50-pound pack on your back, it's the 3-pound brain in your head. Skills don't run out of batteries. Knowledge doesn't break. Understanding can't be stolen. And the beautiful part, nobody knows you have it until it's too late for them and too good for you to be targeted. The best survivors in history weren't the ones with the most equipment. They were the ones who could make do with almost nothing. They understood principles, not just products. They knew that survival wasn't about having the perfect tool for every situation. It was about having the knowledge to improvise adequate solutions from whatever was available. They looked like refugees, they moved quietly, they didn't advertise, they didn't stand out, and they survived because no one saw them as a threat or a target until it was strategically advantageous. And by then, the underestimated gray man had already won. Be the gray man. Look weak, be underestimated, stay alive.
System reboot complete. 5 fatal errors deleted from your programming. Animal taste testers will kill you. Different species process toxins differently. If you can't identify it with absolute certainty, it's poison. Your body has weeks of stored energy. Don't gamble your life for a handful of berries. Alcohol accelerates hypothermia. It dilates blood vessels and dumps core heat through your skin. The warm feeling is dying faster. Heat your core with external warmth and hot sugary liquids that give you fuel to generate your own heat. Clear water isn't clean water. Transparency doesn't mean safe. Moving water transports pathogens from miles upstream. All water is hostile until you boil it for 1 minute, filter it properly, or chemically treat it. No exceptions. Elaborate shelters burn irreplaceable calories. Busy work feels like survival, but it's starvation in disguise. Use STOP, conserve energy. Find shelter and improve what nature provided. Spend 10% energy for 80% protection. Expensive gear makes you a target. High-tech creates dependence and visibility. Skills can't break, don't need batteries, and can't be stolen. Be the gray man. Knowledge weighs nothing and saves everything. The old world rules don't work anymore. Physics and biology are the only laws now. They don't negotiate, they don't offer second chances. But now you know how to keep yourself alive. Now you know the protocols that actually work when there's no backup plan. Now you think like a survivor instead of a victim. What about the other survivors? The desperate ones still running bad code, the dangerous ones operating on panic. That's next, but first, which myth were you carrying? Drop it in the comments. Analyze, adapt, survive.